I'm delighted to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not my first time to Cork. I've been here over the years, but it is my first time, I'm sad to say, to the Vanguard Gallery, because I've been meaning to get here for the last few years. But demands of business keep me everywhere. But that didn't stop me from talking to John over the phone and doing a bit of business recently for the state collections. But it is a great pleasure for me to come and open this exhibition tonight. John Kingerlee hasn't been that visible on the Irish art scene. He was showing, Larry tells me, with the Caldwell Gallery years ago, but he wasn't that visible. He's a shy, retiring man, and I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed that I haven't had the opportunity of meeting the artist tonight, but it will happen on another occasion. But I congratulate all concerned on this exhibition. It looks very beautiful in this lovely space tonight. And I did research a little bit. Larry sent me some data on the artist and the beautiful catalogue which you've produced, and it is very elegant and does credit to the gallery and to the work of the artist. And I know that John was born in Birmingham, so he's a wanderer, he's a journeyman. He's journeyed from Birmingham to London, to Ibiza, to Fez, to Belfast, to Dublin, and now to Beara in West Cork. And that interests me hugely because Beara, West Cork is one of the most beautiful places, I suppose, in the whole world. I haven't been there for years either. Yes. I had a second honeymoon there a long, long time ago, and that was hugely enjoyable as well. But I must return sometime to see the landscape from which he painted these lovely paintings. But he's an instinctive, sincere painter with a primitive urge that has recorded works of exceptional beauty here tonight. And it's very special, I think, that I should come here tonight because I'm on my way on Saturday morning to Newfoundland to give a lecture on the development of modern Irish art. And I know there are special links between the Beara Peninsula and Newfoundland. Agnes Walsh up there has a theatre group in Newfoundland, and she's been to the Beara Peninsula, and they've exchanged dramatic works and that. So it is terrific. It may not be widely known in Ireland still that pre-famine, groups of Irish people went out from Wexford, Waterford, Cork and Kerry to Newfoundland for the cod fishing and for other things. And as someone said, they were probably setting out from America and hit Newfoundland instead. But those who survived settled down there, a lot of them, and they form more than 50% of the community today, and they're very proud of their Irish origins. And I was out there for the first time last summer, and some of them spoke with Wexford, Waterford and Cork accents as if they had left only yesterday. And some of them spoke Irish, and they're third and fourth generation Newfoundlanders. They pronounce it that way rather than Newfoundland.
Yes.
You know, they're very proud of that as well. So if you want to be upmarket, you say a Newfoundlander.
Yes.
Yeah. And anyhow, about John Kingerlee, he did travel around the world, and I'm sad that he's in Fez today or wherever he is.
Yes.
I know Morocco as well. I've been to Agadir and to Marrakesh and to Tangier. It's a beautiful country, fascinating. People in their jalabas, beautiful white buildings. I find the white buildings in the whiteness of some of these paintings here tonight. The thickness of paint. There's nothing of John Lavery, an famous Irish artist who went to Tangier and who painted the seascapes and landscapes. But it's a wonderful country. Beautiful food, inexpensive, incredible vistas. I've travelled from Agadir over the Atlas Mountains up to Marrakesh. And the huge mountains and the great gorges there are truly inspiring, and I'm sure they've inspired some of these little works. I gather from John Kingerlee, from what has been written about him, that he's a solitary, sensitive soul. He did all sorts of things. He was a potter. He saw the knife grinders in Marrakesh and Fez. I never got to Fez. Fez is the cultural capital, just as Cork is the cultural capital this year. And that must be my next trip. I'm going to do an exhibition for OPW, for the Office of Public Works. We're sending our little art of the State show this year down to Photo House to mark your year of culture, because that's very important. And I hope all sorts of interesting things will happen in Cork. And I hope the visual artists and the contemporary arts will flourish in Cork in this special year for your very lovely city. But for John Kingerlee, his works are on a small scale. There are various influences. I know he professes to look at people from a distance, to observe the landscape. I find echoes of Patrick Collins, and then on the international side, I find echoes of Jackson Pollock, rather than Jasper Johns. Jackson Pollock. But as Ronnie Talon said to me years ago, that is the way it is, and that's the way it always has been. Artists of the past inspire artists of the present. And John Kingerlee works on a small scale, but works intensely and passionately. And he doesn't throw them off as a young artist like Sarah Longley, who paints the female nude and flowers, and she can walk picture after picture in a short time. Kingerlee seems to linger over them, like a poet lingering over a poem, transposing a word here and there until he gets perfection. And he aims for perfection in these little works. And some of them sing to me with a poetry and a beauty that is very, very special, and makes it a very special exhibition. And I'm told that this is John Kingerlee's first solo exhibition in Cork.
Yes.
And he's lived on the Beara Peninsula for more than 20 years.
That's right.
So it's not overdue, it's due. And all credit to John Kingerlee, and to you, John, and the Vanguard Gallery, and to his champions, Larry Powell, who loves his work and who sponsors his work and looks after it and manages his work now, I understand, from the catalogue, and to the Jonathan Bennington, I think, who's writing a book on his work, and to Rowan Hand, who's making a film on his work. He couldn't ask for better than three powerful champions like that, because Larry Powell is not just known in Cork and in Dublin, he's known the whole world over. Wherever I went, from Tokyo to Timbuktu, they know Larry Powell and the Ireland Fund and AJF O'Reilly and all sorts of people, in whose collection I believe there are Kingerlees. So I'm glad tonight to be able to add, even in a very modest way, to the extensive collections of the Office of Public Works, which go throughout public buildings, with even a small Kingerlee, because our means are limited this year, and his prices are rising in the marketplace. They're like yeast, brewer's yeast, in which I made a living one time, They're rising, and we're wondering how high will they rise, But here you have a sensitive artist, and he, as I say, he doesn't paint quickly or something. He paints slowly. I find even almost an Oriental influence in these grid paintings, which are very, very lovely, and which were done in the last 4 years. So there's a gradual progression in John Kingerlee's work. There's a sensitivity, an understated colour, and a beautiful, imaginative approach to his art, which I find very refreshing. And I'm delighted to be here tonight. I congratulate you all for putting on this exhibition and for the success of the exhibition, because there are many red stickers all over. And I wish you and the gallery and John Kingerlee and his champions and Cork culture in the year 2005 every success. And I have much pleasure now in formally opening this exhibition. Thank you very much.